watch anything, another guide? North?
Squad 2 should have 2 guys north, right?
Yeah, we need one more up here.
Lost. One of them should be Grenadier.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Match is going to get started here a little early. We're going to start at the 1 hour mark. For those not familiar, we're going to be fighting over Aurora River House today, or our teams will. We've got Esprit de Corps on the Allied side and DC on the Axis side. Should be a great matchup today. These are the only 2 undefeated teams who remain in the tournament. Both teams, I think, hard to argue, not the top 2 teams.
58.
Oh, let's mute our referee here. Where'd he go? There he is. Sorry, Ranger. I said 58, I think. All right, well, we'll see. Maybe we got a little more time than we thought. Maybe they needed to delay it for some reason. Anyways, we're fighting over Aurora River House on Hill 400. As I was saying earlier, Esprit de Corps and DC are both undefeated, the only 2 remaining undefeated teams in the tournament currently. So obviously only going to be one left after this match. And hard to argue these aren't the top 2 teams right now, given their record. And so this is, I would say, probably the premier matchup at this point in the tournament. So we've got a great match on our hands today. Aurora River House is sort of a bowl of death. That's what I'm going to call it. If you're not familiar with the point, just to take a look here. This is the point here. And if you could just see, let's just to drive the point home. Here's that nice circle, which is basically the strong point, although those structures aren't really in the strong point, save for maybe just a sliver of the house. And then if you look at these, this terrain here, it's just lots of cover with those trees to peek behind, to shoot down into the strong point. And we're fighting over, our teams are fighting over this section here, this active sector. That's all that they can fight over. And yeah, I'll just say this. I'm glad I'm casting this match and not playing in it. For those unfamiliar, I am a member of Esprit de Corps, although I'm an armor player, hence why I'm casting and not participating. I'll do my best to be as objective as possible. Of course, I am biased and will be rooting for my own team on the inside. But recognizing we've got a diverse audience here, I'll do my best to be balanced here. I mean, regardless of whether or not I'm balanced, it's going to be a good match. These two teams are just top notch when it comes to infantry play in particular. And this match should showcase some great gunfights. I think we're in for a good one today. Hopefully, if all is well, yeah, I'm seeing in the chat here, we are set to get started here in 19 seconds. It'll be at 58. And it's a 30-minute match with the possibility of overtime until a point is decided. If there's any, if it's anything is contested as the match comes to 30 minutes, it goes to overtime until it goes all the way capped to either team. So, all right, we're off to the races here. Yeah, we can see those little blue dots running. And those even littler orange dots off. Not much to see here for the first 30 seconds or so as teams get into position. And I'm just going to acknowledge here that from an admin cam perspective, this particular terrain is a little tough because the skybox is really low on Hill 400, and obviously there's a lot of trees. So we'll do our best to get into the action, show it as much as we can. But it's a little tough, particularly with all this elevation change, to show all of it in one frame. So I'll try and open up the map as much as I can to get a sense of things. So not much to see right now, but give it about 15, 20 seconds and we should have some guns blasting. All right, nothing too surprising here. Esprit de Corps sending their squads about exactly as you would expect. One south, one mid, one north. Nothing too complicated there. Looks like DC is doing basically the same thing, although a little lighter in the middle. DC going a little bit stronger into the strong point. Here we've got our first gun battles are starting to kick off here. Let's get in on the action, see what we have here. Early cap is going to Esprit. It's contested. I expect a fierce fight over this. I would be really shocked if either team was able to just pull this off right away and hold it. These two teams are both too good for that. Neither team likely to make a critical mistake. Lots of smoke out here. Both teams covering their advance. A little bit of fighting over the river. Not much. As you can see, neither team really wants to get into that bowl of death. It's kind of a double-edged sword. Yes, you get the 3 times cap pressure, but you become a sitting duck for anybody up on this hill. As you already see these MGs on both teams sitting up just to pick people off and just hold that territory. Esprit de Corps, I'm surprised this is as one-sided as it is off the opener. Almost with the cap. DC holding a little sliver of hope, but it looks like Esprit is going to get the cap. We're fighting over it. Maybe spoke too soon. We'll find out. Oh, DC fighting back. Just back and forth, back and forth. No surprises here whatsoever. And let's see. It looks like, yep, we've got a cap from Esprit de Corps. Now, just a reminder for those of you who may be newer or less familiar with the strategy required for, and DC taking it right back. No surprise. This is just going to be, I think, a back and forth slugfest for 30 minutes. I think we're in for a good one. For those unfamiliar, if an OP goes down and a squad leader dies with it, teams have to spawn back at these created garrison spawns, which act as HQ spawns. And so you cannot swap between your 6-man squad. You have to stay with it. So if your squad leader goes down and your OP gets wiped, that is a critical moment. And so squad leaders are going to place their OPs and play more conservatively. Both those things are going to do more conservative. There's a huge incentive not to lose your spawn, because it's very, very difficult to recover that if that goes down in this format. But of course, both seasoned teams not expecting OP and squad wipes to be very common. Of course, it could happen, but you're going to see that happen more commonly in some of the less experienced teams where squad leaders are going to push up, place their OPs in too vulnerable of positions, and then pay the price for it. All right, let's get in on the action here. See what we got going on here. Who do we have here? Cool Pollock. Gonna fight over the house with a Chung. And as you can see, nobody is going into this this bowl of death here. Nobody interested in that. They're just taking up the rims of the bowl and shooting down into it. Exactly what we expected off the beginning. No surprises there. Got ourselves a little fight in the building. Now, if Esprit can hold this window, maybe get an MG mounted up there. Let's see if Cool Paula can clean the building out. Got ourselves a little fight going here. Let's get in there quickly. Oh, sorry for the jerky camera moment. Was trying to get in there to see it in time. Chung comes out on top. That's a really critical window for DC to hold, just to prevent Esprit from taking it. Just for reference here, if we take that and we spin that around and we zoom out, look what that window can see. And if you get an MG there, oh, sorry, I don't have the collision on. If you get an MG up there, you can really lock down a lot of this area. So that's a really important area for DC to deny Esprit. All right, let's head up here a little higher and see what's going on the north side. I'm just noticing here, if we're paying attention to the map, that and the cap pressure, DC is starting to make some good pressure. Look at that. They're getting in there, and just for reference here, we're kind of looking right down the midpoint. And so we've got a handful more DC players. They've got more cap pressure. Of course, we're just literally watching the mechanics at play right here. Winston goes down. Who takes him out? Who was that? Great shot by Clown. So we got Clown's face here down by his squad down by the river, and whose squad is this? Soul Raver has got a Clown face. His squad's facing off. Lots of smoke out. A bit of a standoff here. Esprit forcing him back just a second. Oh, we got a spawn wave of 3 more players. I would say that if Esprit is not able to collapse a few more players down into this area, that DC could take it. It's interesting to watch the difference in allocation of players here. DC obviously going much, much stronger down on the riverbed area, and this section right here where my mouse is over the strong point, trying to push in, maybe take advantage of a little strong point pressure. I'm curious where the boundary is of the actual strong point. I think that one player, a Chung, I think he might have strong point pressure there, which is huge in this small format with only 18 players per team. And remember, if you're in the strong point, that's a 3 times, I believe, multiplier. If my memory is correct, it's at least a multiplier of some sort. I should actually double check if it's 2 or 3, but I'm pretty sure it's a 3 times multiplier in terms of cap pressure. And so given that it's really difficult, notice there are no Esprit players at all in the strong point. Remember, this bowl of death. So if you can get that one player in there, that's a huge advantage, because it's just so precarious for any team to be in cover and safe for any length of time in the actual strong point. Esprit is looking like they're holding on okay. Must be winning their gunfights, because I'm just looking at the cap pressure down here. Would favor DC. Of course, every player on both teams is in the active sector. So minus that one little piece of potential strong point pressure in the house, everybody's even. Let's see. Esprit is marked an OP here. Excel is marked when looks like he took out a player there. I didn't quite catch the name beforehand. Let's see if we can follow Excel. He's going to come down. He's on a flanking position. I don't know if that OP mark is accurate, but he certainly knows there's infantry there. He's camping. He's playing it safe. Takes down Secret. True Bob knows he's there. Takes him out. Now let's see if his OP mark was accurate. I'm going to guess it's down here, not over there. I hear it. There it is. Yep, right there. So Excel's mark is a little off, but a grenade could take it down. It'd be hard to get visibility on there. Looks like we got ourselves a bit of a stalemate here. A decent amount of separation between Esprit and DC there. I mean, this is just tough for DC, the squad here that got this assignment up here. I mean, facing this uphill battle. Esprit just has the high ground. I mean, look at Hitman Alex. He's doing exactly what you should do. Just hanging out, holding angles. I would not want to be DC having to do this, or whoever is on the Axis side at this particular point. It's not team specific. Oh, but Hitman goes down, and that's an opening for DC Secret to make some ground up. Graham, Strike, and Valhalla could push up and continue to deny this, but I'm not seeing them take advantage of this moment, or rather realize the moment. Oh, Graham probably actually is a decent sightline from where he is. I might have spoken too soon. Strike moving up. For those not familiar, Strike is a great shooter. Would not want to be on the other end of her gun barrel. I'll just say that. Looks like she just scored herself a kill. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say, unless there's some significant miscalculation or some absolute massive breakthrough play, we're likely just to see a stalemate. Graham may be a little too aggressive here. Didn't realize that Secret had pushed up that far. Was assuming he could just hold those players down on that OP. Okay, so I talked about breakthrough play. Here we go. We've got Secret coming up. I don't know if Strike knows about it. Looking a little bit. Oh, Excel flanking around. Secret breaking through. Strike unaware. Hitman Alex saves the day. Here we are. Probably going to just be some of this back and forth tug of war for a while here. We're going to leave this fight up on the north. We're going to go check out what's going on. Middle is pretty wide open for Esprit in the map, and you can just see that's the case for DC as well. We've pretty much settled into a north-south fight for both teams without much going on in the middle. That makes sense. That makes sense. No surprises there. Folks, if you joined us late, we started at 58 minutes, and it's a 30-minute match with a possibility of overtime. If neither team fully controls the sector at 30 minutes, it'll go until one team gets full control. So we started at 58 minutes. So we are just over 10 minutes into the match here. We've got 2/3 of the match to go. All right, Esprit has managed to take this this house and control it, and Cool Pollock is... I think he's just outside the active sector, but if he go, or excuse me, the strong point. But if he goes to the right, he's got no cover. This is, again, this is what I'm talking about when I say bowl of death. Just not fun to try and hold this. I mean, I guess you could use these log piles, but you can't really move if you pin down easily. It's just going to be a lot of fighting around the strong point. DC starting to make a little cap pressure. Esprit contestant pushing right back. Who is that MG up there? Absolutely shutting him down. Coco with the MG spot. Oh my goodness. That is a good spot. And I'm not seeing a reciprocal MG up here. I would, from DC, this feels like a real missed opportunity to have an MG right around here. Because if we turn around, I mean, look at what that can shut down. Or even just an MG, maybe even... up here. I mean, I understand the sightlines are somewhat limited with the trees, but hey, you get an MG up in this vicinity, you could kind of stop Esprit's advance. There's an MG right there, but what's he going to see? There's not much up in the middle. He could just try to be facing off to take out Coco. Strikes me as a missed opportunity. I could be missing something, but I'm not sure why that's not being taken advantage of by DC. Do have an MG down here, Faker. I mean, doing a straight line spot, but that strikes me more as a suppression mechanic than an actual area denial. So with all that smoke, you could push up and play methodical, which is, I'm guessing, what Esprit is doing. Well, not much change here. We got ourselves a stalemate. I have to say, I am surprised. I expected a little bit more back and forth thus far. Of course, matches still got more than half to go, so we will see. This story has not yet been finished. It's quiet over here. As I say that, the MGs start barking on cue. Let's get to the other side of this house here and see what we see. Cool Pollock, now on a 2v1. Now on a 1v0. Way to go, Cool Pollock, or whoever else helped him take out those players. It's great play there. Clippy is pushing up here as an SL. He is just crawling through the mud. Trying to take up ground. This is, I mean, what else can you do? You've got so many guns trained on you. That's how you take ground. For those not familiar with how you should play forest maps and Hell It Loose, slow and steady wins the day. Slow and steady wins the day. You just hold angles. Clippy's doing the right thing. You just hold angles, hold from cover, patience, patience, patience. Fast, aggressive play is how you get dead in forest maps. So Clippy is doing exactly what he should do. Oh, however, it might not matter because we've got a little bit of a... Oh, we've got ourselves a slugfest over here. Dash goes down. Fudge, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, goes down. Pollock goes down. We've got ourselves a 1v1 versus Jarvan Hill and Shaka Zulu. Different levels of the house. Clippy's still holding this angle. So much smoke. That MG is a little loud. Control of this house is critical for holding this sector. And as you notice, DC is starting to pick up some steam here. Look at that. They're starting to invest far more north. Look at this. They've only got a few down here. Let's zoom out and get the picture here of what's going on. Big picture, bird's eye view. Yeah, still a stalemate up north. DC putting a significant amount more pressure on the midsection. That's all of their players basically right there. Not all of them, but that big blob you're looking at of about 6, 7 of them. Going a lot lighter on the southern side, which could allow Esprit to make a bit of a breakthrough. Both teams right now poised potentially to punch through each other's lines and sort of reset the battle here and reshape how this goes. Although Esprit is playing very defensive on this. Okay, we've got ourselves a spawn wave here. Yeah, TC is going to keep this a stalemate on the south. Esprit much more invested up on this northern sector here. They're starting to come down, it looks like, a little bit. Did DC just give up on that northern fight in favor of the mid fight? That's an interesting strategic choice. I'm not sure how that will pay off. I just genuinely don't know the contours of the 18 versus 18 on this point. This is the first one I've seen on it. And I recognize this is a relatively newer point for Group A, as this one was not one of the ones that was played in Group A in the previous phases. Thank you to the Altberg wheel for this bowl of joy that we have here to play on Hill 400. Yeah, Esprit is looking like they are really just dominating that northern fight. Now they were able to... Esprit has retaken the full cap pressure and has the sector under firm control at this point. DC struggling, trying to adjust, finding ways in. Let's see what was marked there. Yeah, that probably is an OP. I think we just saw people spawn in. They're marking it as a garrison, though. DC, oh, yep, starting to control that house. That could be a critical breakthrough. A couple of gunfights go DC's way, and they've got themselves a ball game here. Looks like that MG was not able to deny them getting into that house. I'm wondering if they snuck in through this entrance on the left. Did somebody just spawn? Did we see that? Did DC Thorpe just spawn? Do they have a OP up here? They do. Oh, wow. Okay, that is an aggressive and potentially very dangerous choice if it works. I mean, it's huge. Clippy's in. Faker's in. Does Esprit realize that OP has moved up? That's within grenade distance. So that is a high risk, high reward play right there. I'm a little surprised to see it, but I think that it's a desperation play after we've had 18 minutes of our 30 minutes go by at this point. A huge spawn wave. I mean, relative to the 18 versus 18 format, huge spawn wave. Oh boy. There we go. OP just went down. And the squad lead is down, folks. That was more in the high risk than the high reward category. That right there is why you probably shouldn't do that. I was saying earlier in the match that I would be really surprised to see any team do that, get an aggressive OP. I am surprised. Well, you're gonna watch now. There it is. Yep, got to spawn back at at the garrison. There's a garrison location, I believe. Right, I can use the observe mark because no one else can see that in command chat but me. And it doesn't matter because that's a preset Garrison spawn wave. But anyways, his whole squad, when they die, they've got to come back to that garrison. And now Esprit has a massive opportunity. I can't believe DC is still getting it. It's because they're just camped out in that little corner of the house, which is in the strong point. I mean, what? Is this working? Esprit is not realizing the moment they have. They're I don't think they know they got the OP. Maybe whoever wiped it didn't call it out, or I don't know. But that strong point pressure in the house is critical. There's nobody keeping them out. What is Esprit doing? They have got to push in. High Speed needs to push in. Who else do we have here? Joe needs to push in. Who else we got here? C-Star needs to push in. If they're going to hold it, DC might get away with a play that they have no right to get away with, because Esprit is just not recognizing the danger they're in. They're, oh my gosh. Oh boy. I mean, there's no one holding them. Look at this. They've got cover from that house. And those guys are just sitting in their camping. They can't, because of where they are, they can't hold them. Joe and C-Star, no, they're on the other side of the house, boys. Look at the map. Where would they be? How would they be getting this cap pressure? It's not hard to figure out, guys. DC's going to take the cap. This lack of aggressiveness in this moment, lack of recognizing the opportunity, is going to cost Esprit de Corps the cap. DC's going to get away with a super risky play. Unbelievable. Good job to DC. Good job to DC. Well, Esprit is going to be reestablishing 2 OPs, and then Clownface is in a slightly aggressive position. His OP is down. He needs to put that up right now. And yet he's still pushing up without an OP. That is a highly questionable choice. He should have been falling back 20, 30 seconds ago. He's still pushing up. He doesn't have an OP. What's he doing down here? I don't understand this choice. Still pushing up to take ground, but without an OP. Maybe his OP went down previously and it's on cooldown, so it doesn't... I don't know. I just don't understand this choice here. Well, DC firmly in control here. Hats off to him. Great play. Great play by DC. Esprit is going to have a hard time rooting all 3 DC players out of there. They're just going to hold in there. They're not looking to get kills. They're just looking to get strong point. And Clownface just keeps pushing up, but he doesn't have an OP up unless I'm missing. No, there's only 2 OPs up. Oh, he does have an OP up. It's all the way back here. Oh, I missed it. Okay, my mistake. That's a very conservative OP. And DC has full control. It really just boils down to these 3 players right here. It's these 3 players. I'm gonna zoom in and see who they are. Jarvan Hill, Fudge and something, and Thorpe. Sorry, Fudge. I just no clue how to pronounce your name. Yeah, they can just hold that little corner of the building is in the strong point. That teeny little corner. Hence why they're all bunched up here. And coming in there 1v3, even if you get one of them. It's going to be a slow and methodical process for Esprit to try to dig them out. I'm surprised there's not more players committing there. Yeah, now that they're in there, I don't see how this changes. Short of an absolute breakthrough play in the house, which good luck coming across the blind corner. I mean, maybe a hand grenade. That's probably what you'd have to do. But I'm imagining if... let's find out. I'm imagining if you're DC, you're going to be holding multiple corners here so that one grenade is not going to take you all out, if that's possible while maintaining... Yeah, high speed goes down. All right, let's zoom in there. Sorry, we're going to get a little quick camera work just because it says... Okay, Thorpe and Fudge holding that angle. Did he get one of them? Yeah, one of them went down. Okay, and remember, there's no OP right there for them. So... I'm surprised they're not holding a different angle with one behind the bed so that one could hold down for a grenade. Oh! Remember when I said it was all about this corner? Look at the cap lead change right there. Holy crap. I think that was a Scav Suka rocket from up there. Holy cow. Holy cow. Oh, wow. glad we had the camera in there to watch that. Yeah, what a play, Scav. What a play. We're going to go ahead and call Scav the MVP right now. I'm calling it. I don't think it's premature. Unbelievable rocket. Unbelievable. Okay, now we've got 3 Esprit players pushing back. Jarvan Hill has got his hands full here. Esprit is about a third of the way to the recap. Jarvan Hill takes out Scav and Shaka. Oh, wow. Okay. And holy cow, Jarvan Hill. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. 3v1. And those are some good shooters on Esprit's side. I am really surprised. Jarvan Hill, what a play. What a play. All right. He heard that MVP call out by me, and he took that personally. And he said, not so fast. And here we are right back to where we were before. Esprit de Corps getting pushed back a little bit here. Who do we have here? Yeah, this is the time for a medic, Thorpe, because you want without the OP right there. I don't know where the OP is for a DC at this point. I would guess it's probably back by that house. Probably right around the center of our screen of view. Oh, here we go. We just saw some people spawn in. So it's a conservative OP back there. Right where that automatic rifleman spawned in and the MG spawned in. And there we go. They got the house again. Esprit tried to get in there quickly. Maybe they didn't realize someone was in there or weren't able to respond. Just lost the gunfights. And DC reclaiming their spot. Again, we started at 58. So at 28, we got 5 minutes to go here. 4 minutes to go. Excuse me. 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. So we are barreling towards the end of the match here. DC has taken up residence again in that house. Esprit's in there. We got a 2v2. Now high speed getting in there might make it a 3v2 or 3v3 here. Folks, I'm just focusing on this house because that's the only strong point pressure that's really feasible to hold down. And so whoever wins these fights is basically going to determine this game. It's all coming down to what happens here. You notice a Esprit 1-1 gunfight, and automatically here we're contested. Thorpe going up against Solus. Solus goes down. It's Clown Face and C-Star versus Jarvan Hill and Thorpe run around in the house. Clown Face with the win there, and immediately it's contested. If C-Star can take out Jarvan Hill, sorry, I'm sorry, I keep mispronouncing your name, bud. Let's see what we got going on in here. Jarvan Hill taking up the exact spot we would expect him to. The Esprit players can hold some of that cap pressure, I guess, on the first floor without having to take him out. That's what C-Star and Clownface are doing. They're just got ourselves a little bit of a camp fest here. I think they're going to have to take him out if they want him to lose his cap pressure. And Jarvan Hill has no incentive to move. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. They have the point. He can just hold. He's doing the right thing. That's exactly what he should be doing. Smart play. Smart play. Not much going up in the north or the middle. Basically the same thing. We've got ourselves 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to play. Of course, not counting potential overtime if there's cap pressure. And Esprit is just getting their toe in the door occasionally, but DC has this. And remember, both teams are undefeated. We've got the top 2 teams currently in terms of rankings in the tournament. And one of these teams is not going to be undefeated after this match. And unless something changes in the next 2 minutes, DC is going to remain undefeated, and Esprit de Corps will take their first loss of the tourney. Continuing to have our camp fest down here in the house, both teams fully recognizing how important it is to stay alive in that little section. All right, Esprit is starting to really commit to this house. I think they are waking up to the fact that, well, not waking up. I think they've been aware of it and probably just been trying to get it. It's not easy to get. I shouldn't be flipping around it. It's not easy to get up to this point. Trying to get this house. Thorpe goes down. We've got ourselves a bit of an advantage, but remember, it's just, look at this map here. It's just this sliver. That's the part that counts. So Esprit with 50 seconds to go is starting the cap. And remember, overtime will extend past 28 if either team does not have full control. And Esprit is starting to take it back. So folks, we are almost certainly going to have some overtime here because we got 30 seconds left in regulation time. Contested right now. Neither team has a lead in terms of the cap pressure. Esprit is starting to take it. This is just where it goes down to the point where a single gunfight wins the game. I mean, okay, Clownface and Soul Raver. Clownface going ham, going all the way off. He's all by himself though. Okay, Clippy's the last one alive. Clownface goes down, not sure who got him. I'm guessing it was probably Clippy. Lost is coming in to take his point. Lost sole control of the house. Esprit almost at 50%. We are in overtime. We are in overtime. Whoever has the cap first, whatever the clock is, wins. Esprit with the take back. Lost is holding that critical section. Cool is pushing up. DC is pushed far back. They do not have time to waste. Holy cow, folks. Esprit is just turning it up to 11. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. DC had this in the bag, and their entire southern push at the worst possible time just completely evaporated. Look at that. I can't believe what we're seeing. It just evaporated before our eyes. Esprit in full control of the south. Unbelievable. Excuse me. Well, the north, the left of our screen. Unbelievable. I can't believe what just happened. How did that happen? Esprit almost with the game sealed, just wiping DC off them. Look at this. Where are the DC players? They lost an OP. Look at this. They're spawning back. Folks, that's it. That is game right now. Esprit de Corps with the win. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I cannot believe my eyes. Folks, Esprit de Corps with an epic retake. I'm nearly speechless. Well, Esprit de Corps moves on. Undefeated. DC just got handed their first loss of the tournament. Hats off to both teams. That was, folks, I recognize that was a stalemate at times, but holy cow, that was one heck of a game. One heck of a game. Unbelievable. I can't believe what just happened. I am stunned. I mean, no words. No words. Folks, let's get some GGs in the chat for both teams. That was a that was a nail biter. Both teams played phenomenally well, played really disciplined, did not give up. That could have gone either way, as we just saw. So do not expect DC to pick up their marbles and go home. They are a good team, and they will continue to fight. In fact, DC has another match here coming up shortly against OPBHB. Yeah, this is not the last we're going to see of DC, and I'm sure Esprit de Corps is going to learn some lessons about how they lost the point there. And look at that, they're all going into the house, and I'm sure having a party in proximity chat. Judging by the the blue dots jumping around, they are feeling themselves right now. All right, folks. Well, we're going to call the stream there. Thanks for joining us. Glad to have you with us. What a match. What a match. All right, folks. Hope you catch some of the other great matches coming up this afternoon. Go ahead and check out the Discord for the 18 versus 18 tournament to catch the matches coming up here. All right, folks. Catch you later.